What's going on, guys? So we have quite the haul. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Count them, 9 Middle Eastern fragrances in this haul to go over. So I'm going to try to get through these as quickly as I can. We're going to be doing test strips because it's 9 fragrances, but I am very, very excited about going through these fragrances. So stay tuned. So before we jump too far into this, I'd like to thank today's video sponsor that has made this video possible, PERFUMEONLINE.CA over in Canada. The good folks over there, I've ordered from them before. They were gracious enough to do this video collaboration and provide these Middle Eastern fragrances. A lot of very fair and competitive prices with a lot of fragrances I was actually very surprised that they had, especially the pure Parfum version of Club de Nuit Intense Man. Several Afnans, as well as many Lattafas are available right now. So if you're in the market for anything, not just Middle Eastern fragrances, they do ship all over the place. At a certain point, shipping will be free, and they just have a large selection. Very impressed with them, very thankful for this particular video. Now let's get into these fragrances. So we've got 9 total fragrances. I went ahead and unwrapped them all, and we're going to start with the hype beast of hype beasts right now. This is Lattafa Khamrah. Big, gigantic presentation. This is supposed to be similar to Angel Share. Look at this beautiful presentation with the mirror behind it. Go ahead and grab this bottle. I have smelled this once before, so it's not completely a first impressions, but I mean, close enough, right? So let's take a quick look at the bottle and then we'll jump into the scent. Obviously, Angel Share is rounded, but it has a similar style to it. I'll peel the plastic off at a later time. So let's get this party started, give it a spray, and talk about it. This one has garnered a lot of attention in the community as of late, and for good reason. It's a good smelling fragrance. I smell it out in the air. Absolutely beautiful. Ambery, sweet, boozy type of smell, but not completely. I bet that's a benzoin note. I don't have the notes in front of me. We're just going to go to try to cut back on some of this. I'm not going to do like we normally do on first impressions where I pull up the notes and all that stuff. We're just going to go through it, see what it smells like, see what I get from it, and move on, because I don't want to take too much of your time, because these videos typically go pretty long. Damn, this smells good, though. Wow. Very sweet, though. If you're not a fan of sweet, you won't like this. This is immensely unisex. What do I mean by that? Like, this doesn't lean masculine nor feminine. I could see more people that don't like sweet complaining about it being feminine because they usually relate sweet fragrances to being feminine. I don't find that to be the case. Very boozy, rich, almost gourmandish feel. It kind of has a bit of a honey type of smell to it. Definitely very sweet. Has that vanillic tonka bean kind of thing going. It's a little powdery on the paper. Really, really strong coming off of this paper as well. This is a stunner. I mean, we had to come out the gate hot, right? This is the one that everybody's talking about. This is what all of you have been asking me about. I will be doing a full review after I spend more time with this. As with all of these fragrances, I will be spending time with them and doing individual reviews because I'm super excited to dive into these Middle Eastern fragrances more. Lattafa hit it out the park here. I'm not going to say it's 1-to-1. I'm going to say it's more inspired by than clone of. I would say it's maybe 80% at best, which kind of works in its favor. I do find this to be a little bit more on the ambery side, less boozy than Angel Share, sweeter than it is boozy. It's a little bit of spice starting to set in. Not much, though, but a little bit of a warm, spicy feel. Absolutely stunning, and it can be had for a really good price. So, again, that's quick sniff on Lattafa Khamrah, the current hype beast in the community. Next, we have Club de Nuit Intense Man, the Parfum Pure Perfume, the Big Mac Daddy that I have been wanting to get my nose on to see, is it better or worse than the limited edition Parfum, which is my favorite version of Club de Nuit Intense Man. This is a big 150 ml. Similar bottle to the Eau de Toilette, the standard Eau de Parfum. Does say Club de Nuit on the side. Sticker on the bottom. What does it read? 150 ml. Doesn't specify. There's batch code printed on the bottle. But let's give this one a spray. I am quite interested in how this one turned out. Because like I said, I'm a big fan of the limited edition Parfum. Much more earthy. This is much more earthy. Definitely rich, dark, and thick comparatively. I still get a lot of lemon. It's more of a warm lemon. I think it's just because it's so rich and thick. It's almost like a warm yet candied type of lemon. It's not harsh and synthetic. It's just as smooth, if not smoother, than the limited edition Parfum. Definitely smells pretty thick. Like this one will have a really good sillage. Because of the oil concentration, it's probably not going to be, it's probably going to be the weakest projector of the group, but also have the most dense trail. Probably last forever too, I'm sure. This actually does smell quite nice. This is, I think it's because of the oil concentration that this smells of a different level than the rest of them. Even though at first sniff, I think I still prefer the limited edition Parfum. This is my first impressions. I have to wear this on skin and spend more time with it. But I tell you right now, it does smell really good. It does smell better than the Eau de Toilette, as does the limited edition Parfum, in my opinion. This one's much more earthy. A little herbal and, I guess you could say, dirty in some ways, but I don't mean that in a negative light. This is different enough to where, believe it or not, I don't think it's completely redundant to have with the limited edition Parfum. Redundant, sure, but I don't think it's completely redundant because I have different concentrations of a bunch of different fragrances where I have the EDT, the EDP, the Parfum, or the Eau de Cologne, the EDT, and the EDP, or whatever the case, and different flankers and such. I have tons of fragrances like that, so it's actually quite nice as it dries. It's not as dark and smoky, at least on paper, as the limited edition Parfum. I like this, though. I definitely like it. I'm going to be spending some time with this one very soon. You know I like my Club de Nuit Intense Man flankers, and I'm very excited to finally get my nose on this one. I have to spend more time with it, but that's my takeaway initially on the paper is it's dark and earthy. Not super smoky, but still earthy. More earthy than the rest of them. And the lemon is almost like a warm lemon heads type of smell. Like melting a lemon heads candy, if you could imagine that. But yeah, it's not too shabby. This is the Pure Parfum version of Club de Nuit Intense Man. Next, we have Lattafa Amethyst. This is Bade'e al-Oud. I believe that's how you say that. Bade'e al-Oud. This is supposed to be Atomic Rose, if I remember correctly. Beautiful presentation. Very, very nice. Impressive presentation for sure. Has kind of a rubberized effect, a texturing. Definitely on the cap it's rubberized, but even on the bottle there's a texturing to this. It's actually quite nice. Bade'e al-Oud even has that color of side effect and Atomic Rose. I do have a decant of Atomic Rose. I haven't smelled it in quite some time. Oh, wow. A lot of weight to this cap. Atomizers lined up. This is the prettiest of them so far. Give that a good spray. This is a beautiful presentation. Ooh, thick and jammy. Okay, this is nice. This is the best of the three I've smelled so far. On paper, for sure. This is lovely. Thick, jammy rose. Almost a boozy feel to the rose. As weird as that sounds, on paper it's got this almost boozy liqueur type of feel to it. There's a dark essence to this, but I can't quite pick it out. I don't know if it's patchouli. Like, I'm not super familiar with Atomic Rose, so I'm not familiar with the note breakdown for that. But there's a distinguishable, thick, rich, almost creamed rose, as strange as that sounds. This is intoxicating. Does not smell like a cheap fragrance, which this is a cheap fragrance. This is not expensive. On paper, this does not smell cheap and synthetic at all. The presentation is hefty, has girth, quality details all over the place with this plate on the bottom. This is actually metal going around the bottle. Heft on the cap, texturing, just impressive. Very much impressed here. It's getting a tad powdery pretty quickly. Transition. It's getting much powdery, much more powdery. We're not getting away from that rose. I'm eager to put this one on skin. This is fantastic. This is the best of the three so far, and the first two are great. This one's outstanding. We'll rate them all at the end real quick, just to give you an idea on what I feel about them first impressions. But this is the winner of the video until further notice. God, this smells good. Almost like a little bit of a moist patchouli type of smell. Absolutely beautiful. Bade'e Amethyst from Lattafa. Next, we have from Maison Alhambra. This is a clear-cut knockoff of Baccarat Rouge 540 called Baroque Rouge 540. I'm very curious to see how this bottle looks. I've never seen the bottle before. I mean, obviously, this is the Eau de Parfum flanker of Baccarat Rouge 540. I'm actually quite excited because my favorite clone is Alhambra Amber Oud Rouge when it comes to Baccarat Rouge 540. So that's kind of the comparison. Interesting. So that's going to be the comparison that I'm looking for here, because that is my favorite clone of Baccarat Rouge 540. So let's check out this bottle real quick. Very thick base glass. Jeweled logo says the name of the fragrance. Sticker on the bottom. A lot of heavy texturing to this cap. Let's see how hefty this cap is. Nope, cheap plastic. No weight to it whatsoever. The bottle's interesting though, but let's give it a spray and see. One more spray. Why the hell not? Holds very snug and secure. Interesting, there's a lot of weight to this bottle for being short and stout like this. Thick base. It's a slightly spicier take of clearly Baccarat Rouge 540 EDP. It's a little warmer and spicier than Baccarat Rouge is typically. I kind of dig this. At least on paper, it's coming across a little bit spicy. Still undeniably, Baccarat Rouge 540 is what they're going for here. Rather lovely. Another one I'm very curious to experience on skin. If I didn't have so many fragrances to go through, guys, I would definitely do these on skin. It doesn't smell cheap and synthetic. I'm very impressed. Not a one of these, on paper at least, smells cheap to me. And all of them are cheap. I think the most expensive one is the Club de Nuit Pure Parfum flanker, which is like $58, something like that. God, this smells good. I love Baccarat Rouge 540 though, but this is much spicier on paper. Let me smell it off the atomizer. Curious. Kind of hard to tell out of the atomizer, but on paper, definitely a bit spicier. I'm digging this one. Quite a bit, actually. I'm pretty impressed with this. I feel like they did a good job of making a slightly spicier clone of Baccarat Rouge 540 EDP. Not much more to cover here. Seems like a good clone. Might be worth your time. We'll definitely do a full review down the line on this one, but first impressions, not too shabby. A spicier version of Baccarat Rouge 540. This next one is one I'm very, very excited about. This is Afnan Rare Carbon. Supposed to fall somewhere in between Ombre Leather and Ombre Leather Parfum. I have looked at the notes on this one before. Violet and such. All those different notes are supposed to be in here with the leather. It's supposed to have that sweetness to it. A little bit of florals. This bottle is very nice. Hefty. Digging the texturing, has that marbled look at the top. Thick base glass. Heft. Metal. Definitely a lot of heft to this cap. I like that. Weight usually has a quality feel to it. Big wide atomizer. Let's give one more spray. Big wide atomizer. So, I do have Ombre Leather and Ombre Leather Parfum in this pile somewhere. I'm not going to try to dig them out. That definitely has the leather feel, that rough and tumble, edgy, animalic leather smell. But it also has this ozonic freshness to it at the same time. This one's strange. It makes sense why I've read that this falls between Ombre Leather and Ombre Leather Parfum. It's definitely got a lot of freshness, much more than I anticipated. Like, there's a lot of violet leaf here, but also a heavy dose of a leather smell. There's a sweetness, but it's not very sweet. Like, the freshness really balances out the sweetness. This is super nice. I've had a lot of you tell me I would enjoy this, to check this out if I wanted to get Ombre Leather, and I may not get Ombre Leather now. After I spend time with this one, I may not need to get it. Man, it's a little sweet, but not heavily fruity. It's got a little bit of a fruity smell, but I wouldn't sit here and call it a raspberry note or anything like that. It's pretty much violet leaf and leather are the main things I'm getting here. It's not changing drastically. It smells fantastic. The quality of the build, this is for short and stout, very, very heavy and hefty. The cap is heavy, clicks into place, seems to hold. The only complaint I have is the atomizer is a very wide mist. Oh, damn, but it smells good. This one's going to get a lot of wear. This is going to be one of the first ones I spend time with to review for sure, because I was very excited to get this one. Very excited. And I don't seem to be disappointed yet. It doesn't seem as powerful as Ombre Leather. It seems like either my nose is wearing out because I'm smelling a lot of strong fragrances, or it's subsiding rather quickly on the paper, which, as I do this, I'm getting strong hits, not being directly under my nose. A lot of leather, man. This is a good one. Can't deny it. Doesn't smell cheap. Again, that's the biggest thing for me. I'm looking for one to come across that smells cheap. Does not smell cheap. Smells great. Afnan Rare Carbon. Next we have Maison Alhambra. This is Anarch. I don't know what this is supposed to be. Kind of has the look of Tiziana Terenzi as far as the design here. I mean, I could be wrong. Based on the way the cap looks, that's what I'm sticking with. That's a lot of weight. I want to say Tiziana Terenzi. Which fragrance? I have absolutely no clue. A lot of texturing and detail. Actually recessed in the glass. It's actually quite the nice build. Sticker's coming off a little bit, but that's okay. Cheap plastic cap once again. That seems to be their calling card here. But that's okay. It's not the end of the world. I do prefer some heft to the caps. But 3 good sprays. Throw the cap back on. Again, I don't know what to expect with this one. I do not know anything about this fragrance whatsoever. Notes, accords, what it's supposed to be like. It's quite floral. It's got a creamy floral tone. Could be tuberose. Vanilla sweetness. A little soapy. Like almost a hand lotion, cocoa butter lotion type of smell in some ways. Very buttery, creamy, lotion-like. This one doesn't really do it for me. I found one that I'm not a fan of. Definitely on the feminine side, but very like... I want to say this one smells a little cheap, to be honest with you. This smells like just hand lotion. A very floral, cocoa butter-esque lotion of sorts. Hand lotion. A little soapy, maybe even a shampoo, if you will. Shampoo and lotion. Shampoo and conditioner combination. There you go. Yeah, I don't care for this. I don't hate it, but I damn sure don't love it. I'd have to smell this on skin. Maybe this smells great on skin. On paper, it is not doing it for me. I don't care for this one at all. Disappointment on paper. I'm ready to move on. Like I said, it might be tuberose. There might be some jasmine in here as well. Maybe a little bit of yellow florals. Does have a little bit of that going on, but it reminds me of shampoo and conditioner combinations. And not luxurious ones either, like Suave, for example. Cheaper stuff. Nothing special here. Anarch from Maison Alhambra. Let's get back to another one that I'm quite excited about. This is Armaf Niche Sapphire. You know I love Invictus Aqua. This is supposed to be kind of like Invictus Aqua. So, been wanting to get this one for quite some time. Very, very, very happy to get this now. Have a presentation within a presentation. Has this felt going on with this faux leather. Bottle looks cool. Pull that out. Blue felt on the inside. Okay. Here is the bottle. Definitely has some heft to it. I believe it's a 90 ml. Armaf Niche Sapphire. Has the blue gradients. Unfortunately, the glue did not hold. So the cap is in two pieces technically. It happens. I'm not going to gripe too much if the fragrance smells good. I'm not going to complain too much. I have a few other caps that do that for much more expensive fragrances, so I'm not going to gripe too heavily about that. Give it 3 good sprays. Throw that cap back on. Man, it looks cool. Definitely like, ooh. That is definitely Invictus Aqua. Grapefruit, powdery florals, aquatic, watery. Yeah, a lot of citrus. Smells kind of like grapefruit. Smells like a pretty accurate depiction here on paper. Smells pretty strong, though. Like, I feel like I'm smelling Invictus Aqua. On paper. On skin could be a little bit different, a little bit of a variation. Synthetic, a little bit of a bubblegummy feel, but more watery aquatic with the bubblegum tone down a bit. Which is what Invictus Aqua is. Take Invictus, that bubblegum aquatic, tone it down, make it watery. You get Invictus Aqua. And that is what I feel like I'm getting here. It is not the time of year for this one, but if it's strong enough, there are certain fresh fragrances that I like to wear in the cool weather. And this is Armaf, one of Armaf's clones of my favorite fragrance of all time, Invictus Aqua. So this isn't going to be one of the first ones I go through as far as doing a review, but it smells pretty damn accurate to me on paper. Again, you don't get the entire story on paper. It definitely has a little bit more of the bubblegummy feel than Invictus Aqua traditionally has. Now, it's been a long time since I smelled the 2016 version. I'm relating to the newer version, the 2018, which doesn't have near as much of that bubblegum atmospheric smell. Definitely very aquatic. And I love the way the bottle looks. Unfortunate that the cap is kind of in shambles in some ways. But I'll tell you what, this smells really good. If you have a bunch of other fragrances that do the job of Invictus Aqua, complete redundancy, no need to buy it. I didn't need it, but I damn sure wanted it. I really wanted to experience it. I've been wanting to dive into the Armof niche line a bit, and this was the spot to start for me because it's supposed to be Invictus Aqua, and that's my favorite fragrance. So yes, with all the fragrances I've smelled, expensive, cheap, whatever, Invictus Aqua is still my favorite. And this seems like a much more powerful depiction of it. Because though very bright and airy, Invictus Aqua 2018, after about 7 hours, it's kind of gone on my skin. This smells strong enough to where it might have some pretty good staying power. Armofs tend to have pretty good staying power, so I don't know, more to be determined, but I'm liking it so far. Like I said, it's got more of a bubblegum feel to lean more towards the 2016 than the 2018. But I'm digging it. Armaf Niche, Sapphire. Next, we have another Maison Alhambra. This is called Tabac. What tobacco fragrance this is cloning, I couldn't even begin to tell you. Is it Tabac color from Dior? Very well could be based on the presentation I'm looking at. Which I have smelled that one time. So I am not familiar enough with that scent profile. But that's what I'm thinking. This looks like they're duping Tabac color. All right, let's give it a spray and see what it smells like. 2 good sprays should be plenty. Ooh, rich, thick, warm. Like a honeyed tobacco. This is beautiful. This is fantastic. I'm pretty sure that's what it's cloning. I don't remember the scent profile personally, the one time I smelled it on the test strip. But this smells amazing. It's earthy and rich, but not a dirty, dark earthy. It's not dry. It's very moist, warm, sweet, almost sticky-like. This is beautiful. This smells awesome. This smells awesome. A little medicinal. It's got a little bit of a medicinal smell to it. Damn, this is good. I'm very curious on the note breakdown and what it's cloning. I'm pretty confident in what it's cloning based on the presentation. But you never know. It doesn't remind me of one specific fragrance, so it's probably Dior Tabac color. Because, like I said, I smelled it on a test strip one time, like a year ago. I don't remember the damn thing. But man, this is impressive. This is great. This is one of the better, I mean, pretty much all of these have been good except for Anarch. I've liked everything but Anarch, some more than others. This is definitely one I like more than others. Yeah, very sticky. Sticky sweet, smells like a thick honey. A little medicinal, yet earthy, robust tobacco. Very dense, robust tobacco, cigar tobacco, not pipe tobacco. It's a little smoky, not really spicy, but it's a little smoky now that it's settling in. This is fan-frickin-tastic. I mean, I'm excited because the next one I'm about to smell is same packaging design, so I'm very excited about that one because Alhambra Tabac, this stuff's fantastic. Okay, so here we go. This is called Rosewood. I would assume it's another same line type of clone because it's the exact same presentation. Whoops. I need to get this bottle out. Ooh, it's a pink juice. I love rose fragrances. Very light pink hue to the juice. Let's give it a spray. See what we're working with. Obviously, it's supposed to smell like rose and oud and whatever supporting players they have in this blend. Let's give it 3 good sprays. Interesting. This reminds me of something. I need to pinpoint it. I feel like something amouage. It's giving me an amouage feel. This is familiar. I feel like I've smelled this before. Like, very much so. It's more of a fresh rose. It's more of a warm, dry, woody oud. A little medicinal, not much, but drier type of spice to it. Earthy tone in the backdrop, like this patchouli smell. Like, I make this face, but I don't mean in a dirty way. Like, it's just... This one's interesting. Like, it's driving me nuts right now because I feel like I know this scent profile. I know this scent profile. Not I feel like. I know this scent profile, and I can't pinpoint it. This one smells incredible, too. Both of the ones with this presentation are two of the best fragrances in this haul. This is super good. Like I said, we're well over 30 minutes at this point. That's why I'm not going to go through notes and spray on skin and stuff like that, guys. But damn, this is not what I was expecting it to smell like. It's not. It's so familiar. I can't pinpoint it. Let's give all of these a rating. But with this one, earthy, fresh rose, earthy, dry wood, patchouli. It's got to be patchouli. Smells like patchouli to me. Alhambra. Rosewood. Okay, so this was an interesting one. Let's give them some ratings. A lot of these have had plenty of time to dry. Let's start with Khamrah from Lattafa. I smelled a bunch of amazing fragrances after this one. Now I come back to it, and it's like, okay, maybe this one is the best in the video. There's a lot of good ones. There's going to be a lot of good ratings in this video, guys. Only one of them is really going to get kind of a shit rating, to be completely honest here. This is so good. Sweet, almost candy-like in the dry down. This is fantastic. This Khamrah is an 8 out of 10. Lattafa Khamrah is an 8 out of 10. No doubt. This is amazing. I can't wait to wear this one on skin. My upcoming trip, I'm bringing this one. It's awesome. Next, we have Club de Nuit Intense Man, the Pure Parfum. It has gotten a bit more smoky and musky, but still earthy. Almost like a mossy patchouli-like smell. There's an herbal, dark, earthy tone to this fragrance. A little dirty, if you will. And the lemon's still there. I don't really get bergamot and pineapple and stuff like that. I get lemon. I definitely get lemon. This smells so interesting. I don't know if it's... Like, I can't give it a better rating than the limited edition Parfum because I haven't smelled it on skin yet. I think that's unfair to the limited edition Parfum because I want to give this a similar rating because I think this is really damn good too. I'm going to stick with very good on this one. I think it's a great rating. It's a fair rating for this one, especially since it's just the paper. But I'm giving this a 7.5 out of 10. I think the Pure Parfum is at minimum a very good fragrance. It smells really good on the paper. I can't wait to experience it and have it open up on my skin to really tell me the story because that's going to be quite the battle to see which is better between this and the limited edition Parfum because I'm an advocate for the limited edition Parfum. But so far, this one's really good. Bade'e al Oud Amethyst. 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 However you say it. From Lattafa. Hands down, the most quality feel as far as presentation. I would say this gets an A+. Among everybody, this is the best presentation. Not just the box. The bottle is amazing. It's still the best fragrance in the video. This is amazing. I love the way this smells. This is taking me back greatly, almost breathtaking in many ways. Here it comes. 9 out of 10. Bade'e Amethyst. It's great. It's outstanding. Next, Maison Alhambra Baroque Rouge 540. It's a solid clone of Baccarat Rouge 540. I feel like I need more out of the skin. On paper, it doesn't wow me. I don't think it's going to be quite as impressive. At least on paper, it's not as impressive as Amber Oud Rouge. I think it's better than good. It's not blowing me away, but it's a 6.5 out of 10. It's still pretty good. I'm going to spend some time with it on skin. That rating is subject to change, either stay the same or go up. I doubt it's going to go down. But as I spend time with it, I may end up loving this. This may become my favorite. I don't know. But it's not really blowing me away and wowing me too much on the paper, but it does smell really good. So I say it's better than good. 6.5 out of 10. Afnan Rare Carbon. This one's impressive. The leather fragrance of the video. Oh, that leather's settling in more. That animalic tone's not going away. Nor is the violet leaf. That ozonic freshness is still there. I understand now why some say it falls between the two versions of ombre leather. Not immensely powdery, a little touch of powder. Doesn't strike me as a lot of florals. I don't think the iris is in this one, like in the Parfum of ombre leather. But you can tell they were going for ombre leather. I don't think this is a one-to-one with ombre leather. I would say this is every bit of 75-80%. Like, you can tell they were going for ombre leather with some differences. Maybe even 85%. It's pretty close, but not spot on. But damn, it smells good. The quality's good. It's strong. I'm really digging this one. This is an 8.5 out of 10. Afnan Rare Carbon. Afnan continues to impress me. I think as time progresses, they've become kind of my favorite Middle Eastern house. Because there's not one Afnan fragrance I've smelled that I was not impressed by. And Rare Carbon, nothing short of that. Maison Alhambra Anarch. This one I didn't even want to continue to smell, to deep dive. Wow, it smells so much like a cheap shampoo at this point. Avoid, guys. This I can't completely judge it because it's not on skin, but on paper, this is an avoid. This is a pass. At best, this is like a 3 out of 10. There's nothing really going on impressive here. This is very subpar. It smells like a cheap shampoo and conditioner combo. On paper, it's not doing it any favors. Is it better on skin? Possibly. But based on what I'm getting out the atomizer, what I smelled in the air, and definitely what I'm getting on paper, I don't think it's going to get much better, if at all. I can't even see this getting to a 5 rating, even on skin. 3 out of 10. Next, Armof Niche Sapphire. The Invictus Aqua of the video. Oh, man. It's got that synthetic tone of the 2016. They were going for the 2016 here, not the 2018. And if that is the case, which I believe it to be, it's pretty damn accurate for the most part. Everything to love about Invictus Aqua is here. And it's so strong coming off this paper. This is great. 8 out of 10. An easy, solid 8. Great fragrance. Super excited to spray this one on skin. At some point, I will be doing a full review on this one. Possibly as it warms up a little bit more, but we're moving into cold weather. I will have some slightly warmer days where this will be feasible to wear for how I am, but I gotta tell you, it smells great. Maison Alhambra Tabac. I'm convinced there's a thick dose of some sort of honey in here. It is thick, it is rich and robust. This is a dense smell. I bet the longevity is ridiculous on this fragrance. It's an eau de parfum, but I bet it performs like an extrait. This smells awesome. Man. Very much impressed by this one. Even though it does smell a little on the cheaper side, it smells like a really damn good cheap aroma. Like, there's so much to enjoy and to like and appreciate about the scent profile, but it definitely does smell a little bit more on the synthetic side. I think it's right up. If the quality was a little bit better, this one would be an outstanding rating, but I still think it's a great rating. This is an 8 out of 10. This stuff is really, really good. It's great. 8 out of 10. Another solid rating for this one. For the money, this is a great fragrance to get your hands on. I feel like the performance is going to be great too because it's very thick. Yeah, 8 out of 10. Last but most certainly not least, we have Maison Alhambra Rosewood. This has gotten much spicier. It's more of a spicy rose at this point. It smells like a fresh Turkish rose. Much, much spicier than it was in the opening. It's gotten kind of warm and spicy, a little animalic. Dense woody facet. The oud's really coming through more, but it's a drier wood. This is really nice too. I think this is a 7.5 out of 10. This one's very good as well. Definitely on the more synthetic, cheaper smelling side, but not enough to deduct it to the point to where it's just average. I think it's another one that's a very good fragrance. I look forward to wearing these on skin to really see what these are all about, because paper will only give you so much. But on paper, it's a 7.5. Well, I tried to run through this as much as I could. I know it's going to be above 40 minutes, unfortunately. Thank you to everybody that stuck with me the whole way through, though. But I am so excited about having just about all of these. Only one was a giant letdown. Several really impressed me. One was meh, better than good. It's okay. But most of them were very good or better. I'm very impressed with a lot of these fragrances. Be on the lookout for more individual reviews on each one of these. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Because I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. What in this video have you tried already? What do you think about them? I'd love to read that down in the comments. Again, thank you so much to PERFUMEONLINE.CA for featuring us in this video, giving us these fragrances for this content. Many reviews coming. Make sure to check out PERFUMEONLINE.CA down below. If you're interested in grabbing any of these fragrances, I'll have the link down below for you guys. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of these and you give them a spray now, pretty confident you'll thank me later, because most of these are pretty damn good. Have a good one, guys.